We are talking Morgan Wallen drama, and it has nothing to do with Saturday Night Live. Hello, my fam. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer. And remember last year, literally 12 months ago, April 2024, Kristen Cavallari's former hookup buddy was arrested. Again, he's been arrested many times. Actually, let me give you a brief trip down memory lane. In 2016, Morgan Wallen was arrested for DUI. In 2020, he was arrested for public intoxication and disorderly conduct after he was so lit that he got kicked out of Kid Rock's establishment in Nashville. Then, in April of 2024, 12 months ago, he was arrested after he threw a chair off of the 6th story of a bar restaurant in the very busy Broadway area of Nashville. And security camera footage showed him smiling and laughing after he did that. Well, unfortunately for Morgan Wallen, there were 2 police officers right outside of that establishment, and his butt got thrown in jail. Eventually, in December of 2024, Wallen, who is very popular in country music, pled guilty to 2 counts of misdemeanor reckless endangerment, and he was sentenced to 7 days in a DUI camp, forced to stay there for the whole week. In addition to the incarceration, he was also slapped with 2 years probation. Now, given his track record, that could be very problematic for the Voice alum. He and troubles with the law go hand in hand. Great inspiration for songs, though. At the time of his arrest in April of 2024, Morgan Wallen said about a week later, quote, "I'm not proud of my behavior and I accept responsibility. I have the utmost respect for the officers working every day to keep us all safe." And he has kept his mouth shut about that incident until now. The 31-year-old was just a guest on Theo podcast, and the comedian asked the musician how he deals with fame and everything that comes with that. Theo speculated that it's probably a lot of hassle for him to go to bars without being approached. In response, however, Morgan said this inconvenience is for the best. Quote, "It's definitely the best thing for me. I mean, if you're using a bar as a specific example, that's definitely the best thing for me," he said, laughing. "I ain't been in a bar since the last time I was in a bar that everybody knows about. The most public time I was in a bar, that's the last time I was in a bar." Well, good. If you can't handle your scandal, if you can't keep your liquor without getting sicker, don't drink or drink at home. And Morgan did some reflecting on that arrest and his other arrests, and he did channel it onto his new album that comes out next month. One song in particular he wrote for his son, who is 4 years old. It's called Superman, and on that song he sings, "One day you're gonna see my mugshot from a night when I got a little too drunk. Hear a song about a girl I lost from the times that I just wouldn't grow up. And when you ain't a kid no more, I hope you don't think less of me. I try to hide my falling short, but you're gonna see." The singer went on to compare that bottle, meaning his struggles with alcohol, to Superman's kryptonite, which can bring a man of steel down to his knees. "Don't always know my wrongs from right. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy," he sings. "No, I don't always save the day, but you know, for you, I'll always try. I do the best I can, but Superman is still just a man sometimes. Love the reflection. And now that he is this big old superstar, his life is very different than it used to be. Not all for the better. Morgan tells Theo Vaughn about fame, quote, "It's still weird, and there's parts of fame that I don't like. I think anybody who has to deal with that, it's not ideal. It's not ideal to go everywhere, and even if you don't get bothered, you were on edge the whole time because you thought you might get bothered. There's things that you just don't do. There's just things you don't do anymore." So what does he do? Well, he reveals that he can still be him and have a great time going hunting. Not for me, but cool for him. Why hunting? He explains, "I can go be with my buddies. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can be at ease. I can not stress out. You just find ways to supplement it, I think, you know?" No, I don't know. This interview with Theo Vaughn just came out, but it was recorded before his Saturday Night Live appearance that got a lot of people talking. And actually, his appearance on SNL was not the first time on the show, and the last time he was on, back in 2020, he had to reschedule because prior to that, he got in trouble for breaking the show's COVID protocols. Remember, things were very different back in 2020, and most people were isolating and being very cautious. Not Morgan Wallen. He's not most people. And even though folks have been talking a lot about his appearance most recently, just this past weekend, sources tell Page 6 that SNL is not upset with Morgan Wallen and, quote, "The showrunners would love to have the country music star back in the future. If he'd do it. Didn't seem like he had fun. He didn't stay for the after party. He didn't participate in any skits, even though he was asked to. And then he said, 'Get me to God's country.'" SNL is not God's country. Perhaps God's country is the woods where he goes hunting. 'Cause just this week, after his appearance on SNL, he posted a video on social media of him with a pew-pew out somewhere hunting. The caption of the video reads, "Maybe then you'll understand." And the video was accompanied by a snippet of a new song of his called "Come Back as a Redneck." Okay. I would love to, actually. I'd probably have a wife. That would be nice. I'm not even joking. I would love to be a heterosexual man or a lesbian. All right, my fam, enough ridiculous from me. Thoughts on anything and everything from this video? What Morgan Wallen said, Morgan Wallen in general? Let's discuss it all. You know where, you know what to do. See you in the comments section. Thank you for the support. I love you. You're awesome.